About 15 years ago, I met this tall, handsome young man. I remember I was in my final year of high school, and he was in his final college year. I was pretty young. I was weighing about 35 kgs of niceness, and yeah, I was 35. And dating was literally the last thing in my mind. My parents are retired teachers. As a matter of fact, my dad was a headmaster. So, for us, life was about books and nothing but books. So that happened, and that was just it. I was ministered to, they sang with the group they came with, and things were fine. I cleared high school, and about 3 years later, I come to the city and walk into a meeting. And guess who I meet? Guess? The same tall, handsome, young guy. Still looking refined. I was so excited to see him. And I could sense he was looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still young. And so this time I remember going home and doing something rather weird. If I look back now, I went, knelt by my bed and said, Lord, in high school I was young. Now I'm of age. So if that is meant to happen, this is the time. And so I got to know him, and unknown to me, he was actually a friend to my brothers. And so I kind of just slid in. So I also became a friend. And before we knew it, we were spending lots of our free time together. He'd pick me up, take me for ice cream. He actually took me for my first movie. Let me tell you why this movie is very memorable to me. My dad was a headmaster. Did I say that? And that meant there was nothing like TV in our house. In fact, the first TV that was brought into our house was after I was in Form 4. And anytime there was a movie or something was happening on TV, we'd actually pray that, Lord, may no one hug. May there be no kisses, because if they got close, yeah, my dad would go like, Zima your TV. Like, okay, boss. So I went for this movie. I had no experience, and I want to just be the nice girlfriend. And so I sat there with one eye open and another one just looking, checking, like, what's happening here? Yes, the popcorn, I know I should eat that. And what else? And so at some point, I saw my boyfriend kinda dozing. And I said, oh, probably at this point, we're supposed to doze off. So I actually just shut my eyes and said, all right, let me play along. So one eye open and waiting for him to probably wake up. And then he opened his eyes and said, oh, really, how's the movie? I'm thinking, I don't even remember the title of the movie. But that was it. And so after about another 2 years of dating, we got married in this beautiful, beautiful garden wedding. And I remember us sitting during our honeymoon, talking about our dreams, our hopes, our desires. In fact, we were going to have 2 children, a boy and a girl. The girl was to be named as a reminder of our honeymoon. And so things were just flawless. It was all nice, honeymooners, all young, enjoying marriage, until about 6 months into our marriage, I woke up with this pain that I wasn't understanding. I mean, it was just normal periods, ladies know. And I was thinking, why am I in so much pain? So my husband held my hand and took me to the hospital, and we were given some report on cysts. And I'm here wondering, what are cysts? I was balancing tears, thinking, okay, what next? And then he held my hand and told me, you know what? The Lord who brought us here has a way out. So I was given medication. And of course, I went home and went online. That's what we all do, like cysts. Natural remedy for cysts. Can cysts kill you? What happens? And so I was treated, and life pretty went back to normal. We were back home, still honeymooners, having a good time. And then we were just forgetting the pain. Boom! Pain again. And so this time I say, it's a bit different. It's too much now. This was about 1 year, 9 months into marriage. I'm thinking, it's a bit too much. What could be the problem? And so my good husband again holds my hand, takes me to the doctor and says, fix my wife, help her. And this time, the doctor put me up on that uncomfortable bed and checked me out and said, I think you're going in for surgery. And I'm thinking, why? I've never even been admitted in a hospital. And there was not much time to think about it because I was told we have to do this in a week's time. And so I remember I went to the hospital. I was admitted. My husband came again, prayed with me before I was wheeled into the theater. In fact, he bought for me my first new Bible. I treasure it to date. Brought it to the hospital and said, you know what? Read it when you wake up and I'll be here. And so I was taken into the theater, and the doctor removed some fibroids and cysts. So I got up and said, we're alive. Life goes back to normal. Went back home. This time I was like, now this is it. Probably we shouldn't delay getting children. We probably should try. We need to try. And knowing our African culture, that is just something else. So everything was fine. Trust me, we were living a perfect marriage. I was employed, he was employed. No issues, just two lovebirds trying to enjoy life. And this time we were sure that all was sorted, but I think we were wrong again. And after another 2 years, to be precise, I was in indescribable pain. I actually remember the day, just like yesterday, it's still so fresh. I got up, it was a weekend, a Sunday. So we wake up, then I realized I can actually not stand straight. Like something was literally pulling me, my tummy was pulling so bad. And I was saying, if this is what menstruation is supposed to be, then I'd rather not have it. And so I remember feeling so uncomfortable, we had to rush to the hospital. So going all bent, wondering, what is it? Again, my husband with me, driving me, and we get to the hospital. I am checked. And the first thing the doctor says is, you're not going back home. And I wonder, why? I'm a strong woman. Just, if it's pain, just give me some painkillers. I can manage. We are women. We are strong. And he said, you know what? You are actually going in now. He said, told my husband, go prepare her clothes because she has to be wheeled in. So we went to the hospital emergency door, and I was wheeled into the theater. By that time, I cannot describe what I was feeling. So I went and I was given one of those strong painkillers. Actually, it was a morphine shot to calm me down. It was that bad. And after that, I relaxed in preparation for a major surgery that evening. I was getting emotional and wondering, I've lived right. My father was a church elder. My mother was serving in the church. We've been taught to live straight lives. No boyfriend, nothing like that. So I'm like, is this a punishment of some sort or what? Anyway, I was taken in for surgery. And this time, when the results came back, there were these complicated terms that you're suffering from endometriosis. And I'm there thinking, what? What is that? I've never heard that. I mean, it's a hospital, you don't have a chance to like go online, check, like. And I'm like, at least they should tell me if it's meant to kill me. And if I die, at least I'll write in my will that if my husband marries this person, I'm coming back. You know, women had thoughts. I know women think like that at times. Anyway, the surgery went really well. Endometriosis was the report. And so I had to be educated, like, what is it? What does it mean? I mean, what does it mean for me? And I learned that it's a chronic medical condition. It has no known cure. So what is basically done is to manage the pain and just a few lifestyle changes for you to move on. In fact, simply explain, endometriosis is appearance of endometrial tissue outside the uterus, causing severe pelvic pain. And it's mainly associated with menstruation. So I was going home, having a big term for disease, and thinking, okay, things went back to normal. Some months ahead, I have to admit. Actually, most months ahead. And you see, endometriosis comes with pregnancy-like symptoms. My name is Hadassa. I'm a childless woman. I'm a queen in my husband's eyes. Trust me, I know I am. And I'm the founder of an organization called Waiting Wombs Trust. I've been married for 11 years and about 6 months. And we do not have a child. We are still waiting. I was telling you that endometriosis comes with pregnancy-like symptoms. So every other month, I'm used to people coming and saying, hey, congratulations. But what can I do? I mean, it makes me really uncomfortable because most times it happens when I am in pain and I am bloated. So I actually appear pregnant. It's Africa. After 3 years, everyone expects you to be pregnant or having a child. What you probably don't know is it can get really complicated being married for so long and having no children. It's complicated because it actually complicates your relationship. The world probably views you as invisible. You become like a stranger. You belong to another race. You probably are nobody. And sadly, it can get to your head and even get you depressed. That was who I was a few years ago. I didn't see any meaning to life. I thought life was about pain, being answerable to people, because when I went to church for solace, my tummy was rubbed because I probably looked pregnant. I go to the office to work on a normal work day, and someone comes with a newspaper. I still remember the article very well. It was titled, Men Shooting Blanks. And so the person walked, and we were seated on a round table with colleagues and said, Hadassa, this could be your problem. And I say, okay, we'll probably try another style. You know, these things people just try. And that was it for me. I'm kind of learning to rub it away, you know. Because trust me, everyone has a solution. Everyone. Like I go up country, and if I hear someone say, I need to see you. I know I'm expecting some heavy 5-liter dirty jerry can with herbal medicine. So I've just learned to tell them, you know what? I still have like 3 in the list. Yours is the 4th. Give me some time. and life continues. There are people who are so brave who will come and ask you, what are you still waiting for? Or for how long are you going to keep your figure? Or why are you wasting your husband? Or something like, you probably do not know the moves. You need to try something different. I'm like, who tells people? How did you all get children? Those who have children. Life could be tough. And I know all of you have probably come across a colleague or a sister or a friend or someone who's childless, not by choice, like me. Because you see, every 1 in 8 couples is involuntarily childless. It's totally complicated because first, the pressure is from you. How many times have you dissed someone because of their situation? So if I stand here speaking for many others like me, how can you support us? Maybe just to share a few tips. Number 1, do not use this line. Let's agree. What are you still waiting for? Or, why can't you just adopt? Hey, adoption is for everyone. It's not just for childless couples. And trust me, we know our kind of setup. Most couples who've been married for over 3 years are probably trying, or you never know, maybe they just suffered a miscarriage, you have no idea of, or maybe like us, we're still trying to come to terms with our medical conditions. Number 2, if you don't know what to say, silence. Do not refer to us as barren or sterile. Yule tasa, yule gumba. I understand those are English terms, those are Swahili words, but from where I sit, they sound very, very insensitive. I know there are times when you plan a baby shower and you're wondering, what will she feel if I invite her? Invite us, do not lock us out. In fact, if you're pregnant, just let us know. And if we don't come for the baby shower, please bear with us. Probably we are not emotionally stable. Do not use comments like, your husband is probably shooting blanks. Because let me tell you, there are men who actually have medical conditions that affect that aspect of their lives. So you could be joking about it, and someone is actually struggling. I know you watch news every other day and you hear stories of someone has been done this to because they were childless. And do you know who actually kicks them out? Relatives. I've been to funerals where someone stood and say, and since my brother died and she's not helping, there was no child, after the burial, get out. And everyone says, yes, you can help childless women like me. We have not chosen to be here. It could happen to you the way it has happened to me, even though that is not my prayer. And if you're a waiting husband, I call it waiting because I believe that no woman is barren. That is my honest belief. I think the Lord just withholds so that he may bless us. Even if it's not a bio child, adoption is still okay. And so if you're a waiting husband, please support your spouse. It's so much lighter working together. Go to the hospital. Accept to be checked because trust me, this affects men too. And if you're in my shoe, do not die in silence. I know that feeling, I've been there. I desperately needed support, there was none. Until this pushed me to step out from my formal employment. I had a good job, but I was thinking, who is going to hold someone's hand who needs it? And so I stepped out and said, you know what? Waiting Homes Trust is going to be born from my pain. And we currently stand at a membership of 8,000 amazing, amazing people. So please reach out, get a support group, talk to a counselor, talk to someone. because I know so many people undergo depression. Every day we deal with suicidal cases because I've lost probably 6 children. My husband thinks I'm the problem. And sadly, at times, most people, society thinks we are cursed. That is why we are childless. And so life can really get complicated when you're trying to be strong, but your health lets you down. When you're waiting for something indefinitely, we just don't know when it will come. It also gets really complicated when society has so much expectations, and these issues are actually beyond you. 15 years ago, I met a tall, handsome young man. He's watched me cry almost every month and wiped my tears. He's literally stood with me and held my hands and encouraged me when life probably lost meaning. He's reminded me that I'm a special woman, regardless of my current situation. He's gone for 2 surgeries, and probably we are going for a 3rd one, and he's still not getting tired. He's held the hands of other men we are within Waiting Homes Trust and reminded them that marriages can still survive with or without children. And despite his pain and frustration, he still holds my hand. And trust me, we walk with our heads up because we refuse to let childlessness define us. Thank you.